Basically, there are two types of pens that people seem to go for, and that is Blackwood striped. So, sorry about the lighting. So that you can see the black stripe running through the middle of that, well, a segment of that piece of blackwood. So I've just cut off that planking. And the other wood that I suppose makes up about 70% of the pens that I make is Huon pine. And so I brought the light in a bit closer so you might pick up the growth rings on this. There's quite a few hundred on there. Haven't actually counted them, but a lot. Basically the material, the Huon pine that I have, a lot of it came out of the same tree and was made into lumber. But I have one piece, a couple of pieces actually, which, you know, you can sort of date it, and it works out to be around about, or a little bit over 2,000 years. So that's how I know that it's 2,000-year-old wood. So, well, there you are. You can see the growth rings for yourself, and they grow extremely slowly and very long-lived. So I'm just going to cut a nice piece of this now, and make a pen from that. Okay, so here's my piece of blackwood in my simple jig. It's a couple of offcuts there just to clamp it as well. Now, part of the art of making a blackwood stripe pen is you can clearly see the black stripe there. Now I have to position the drill so the drill doesn't actually cut into the black area, because we want the black area to be prominent on the pen. So I have to go off to one side and drill all the way through with a 7mm hole. So that's what we're going to do next. Okay, so the next stage of making a pen is you get your brass inserts, like so. We have a material with our holes drilled through, and then we get, I use super glue. It's one of the best methods to use in actual fact. So the next job actually is to rough this surface up. So you get some 100 grit paper and just put those there a second. Just take the gloss off, and it gives something for the adhesive to grab hold of. And you never have a problem with anything coming loose. So now comes the super glue, or CA glue, or whatever you want to call it. Now you don't need a tremendous amount, just enough to coat This is like a semi-gel type. You just get it and push it halfway through like that, and then all the way through, turning it as you go, and there it is. It's in there. So we do the same for the whole batch. Okay, so the next stage now is to machine off each side flat, but what I normally do is I leave those now overnight, or at least about 12 hours, to cure. Now it's probably not necessary, and I do know a lot of people just leave it 10 minutes and get on with it, but I like to play it safe, and I don't like any problems. Never had any problems, but it's probably due to, I suppose, the care and time that I take to do them. So this is now is left for about 12 hours, and we'll come back tomorrow and continue making the pen. Okay, welcome back, and now the adhesive has gone off, so what we need to do is get this special little tool to just machine the wood part down to meet the little brass insert. And it actually, does it totally square, so you know there's no gaps when you put the pen together. There's no gaps whatsoever. So this is how we do that. I just use an Irwin clamp actually, which is good enough, and I just put my piece of wood in another jig which I've made. Life is full of jigs, by the way. And that goes in there, and then this just clamps it in place, and then you get a good drill. I like Bosch actually. Mikida's okay too. Okay, make sure it's tight. Now this keeps it all nice and square, so this goes down inside, and then the cutter will come and just take away the wood material. There's a little flange in there that stops you going any further. So here we go. That's it. I'll show you the result of that. Not too overexposed or anything, I hope. So it's just shined the brass insert, and it's just taken it down. It's absolutely square now. So you do that to all sides. I'll fetch the camera in for a bit of a closer look. Okay, so for those of you who want to start to do a bit of pen turning, you saw one specialised tool just now, and this is the other one. This is a pen mandrel. It has a number 2 Morse taper here, and it's got a indentation there that lines up with that spike there, and that's on a bearing. So it goes in the lathe like that. Okay, and I'll show you how to put it in the lathe. So simply, you just get this Morse taper to the headstock here, and just, that's it. It's an interference fit, and that's all it needs actually. Just take this little knurled wheel off there, and then you take 1, 2, 3 of these little spacers. Okay, the little ring spacers. Okay, they act as two things actually. They act as spacers. There's another two here, and actually they act as guides as well. So you get your. I'm going to start with the. Let me see. What should we start with? Tell you what, we'll start with the Blackwood first. And line him up. Okay, so there's the pattern. Okay, so we want to put this onto the mandrel and machine it with the pattern all in the same grain pattern. A lot of people don't bother to do that, but I do. Then the actual name for this is a ferrule, actually. Then you put your other piece, okay? Then you put those two on there. Then you put this on and tighten it up. Nice and firm. So then you get your spike, for want of a better word. Put that in there. Fetch him up here. Tighten him up a bit. No, don't have to over tighten it. And then lock him up. Now, this lathe will actually go to 3,200 RPM, and that is what I will be machining this at, because the smaller diameter that you machine in a lathe, the faster you need to spin the lathe. Let's get a tool. Okay, now generally for this job I use a small spindle gauge. Now this is a, what is it? 3/8? Nah, yeah, it is 3/8 of an inch standard spindle gauge. This one is a, I think it's a little bit over 1/2 inch round nose scraper. Look at that. You see the angle on the top of him? Okay. But that's a round nose scraper. I suppose you could call it a gouge. It's halfway between a scraper and a gouge. You see, it's just hollowed out that way like that. So I suppose it's more of a gouge than a scraper. But this one is a round nose scraper. Notice it's flat. And I'm going to give these a bit of a touch up on the stone. I think they're okay actually. You should be able to feel, okay, like a little tiny bit of a burr up there, like a sharpness. Is that burr, that sharpness right on the tip of the end there? That's what does the cutting. The rest of the material here doesn't do much. I sharpened these up actually after I finished using them last time. Yep. Probably won't be using that one now. I might do. Might use that one. Okay, so I'll bring you in for a little better look, and I'll get some more light in from that side, and we'll have a little bit of wood turning party. Okay, so I'm going to start by showing you a little trick that makes life a little easier for you. Now, don't use, this is a fine file, but don't use the file on this. This is cast iron, I think. Now, to be able to get a nice smooth cut, and you're not fighting the chisel on here, okay, you want it to slide very smoothly with no lumps and bumps. Will maybe need a little bit. So what I do, this is a very fine worn out bit of paper, as you can see. It was 180. It's probably equivalent to like 350 now, or thereabouts. And I just get it and use the blade because it keeps it nice and flat. Okay, and go this way, side to side, and shine him up like so. Oop, that's a bit smoother. Get a rag, wipe him off. Smooth as silk. Smooth as silk. That's what you want. No roughness, because if you get roughness on here, it actually transmits it through into the cut. Now, a lot of people put their tool rest, this is a tool rest by the way, in various places, but I find for doing this job, just slightly below center height, like that. Okay, so there's a center height there. Okay, slightly below center height. So the cutting face, or the cutting edge, is just about in line with the center of the lathe, the center of the material. If you notice, I've got the chisel down very, very slightly, because it alters the angle that the cutting edge is presented to the material. Now that's about right, and you should be able to just about get your finger down through there. Now, to me, that is an ideal situation to have your cutter height then. I've been doing it for many years, and that's the way I've found works best for me anyway. So let's get this thing started, and I might play you a little bit of music. Most of the music I play is courtesy of Google, and well, I hope you like it. So here we go, we're going to start up. We'll take it all the way up to... Oh, that's set on the wrong speed. Well, you'll have something else to... I'll have something else to show you now, because I'm going to show you how to change the speed of the belts on here. Now, to change the... it's got 3 speeds, so to change the speed on here, I just think I have to slacken that off and slacken this one off. Lift that up. Oh, there out the way. Tightening him up. So you notice, oh, he's set on the slowest speed. So it's got slow, medium, and high. For this particular application, we want the high speed. So on the other side over here, there's a lever with a lock. So you just undo the lock and pull the lever up like that. And I'm going to have to lift the lathe up and open this to get the belt inside there, which I forgot because I'm talking to you guys. You still see that there? We still see that. Okay, better unplug it first, be safe. Open that, and you can't see this, but I can. So you just move the belt over like that. It's just the same process down here, really. Move the belt over, and then retighten it back up. Easy. Tighten that up, lock that up, lathe back down, and there you go. Set to high speed. So it's just a simple matter then of slugging that off. This gear thing here that you can see, that is what they call a Hall effect. And what that is a little pickup back in there. That's what this wire is for. It's pointed at this and it counts those teeth. And that is what gives the information for the little counter at the front, the RPM counter. A little bit of trivia along the way. Okay, so now we might be able to start doing a bit of turning. Incidentally, I don't know whether I said along the way, I am taking orders for Christmas now. Although it's August, I have to start now to actually get them all out before Christmas. So if you're considering having a pen from me, handmade, get your orders in early as possible. So I might be able to have a bit of a Christmas myself. Without working too hard. Okay, so now we're on high speed. Let's plug it back in. So we're going to start off with this gouge, I suppose you'd call it. It's going to be a lot faster. There we go. So it's already 1300 RPM, so here we go, all the way up to 37, 39, oh, the voltage is up at the 4,000 RPM actually, so they've got a real good voltage. Let's move that light. Okay, 4,000 RPM, and here we go. I'm taking off about 1/1000th of an inch each time there. Of course, this is the area that you grasp with your fingers. Okay, of course this will change again when I put the finish on. I put two different finishes on here, and I use friction polish, and it takes it to a deep shiny luster. So for now I've got to start using some paper, and I'm going to go all the way down to 800 grit. Okay, a lot of people ask me what finish I use. I use E Ultra Sheen by U-Butte Polishes, and also Shell Wax, if I can say it right. Glow. Alright, now these are both friction polishes, but I put this one on first and then finish it off with this one. And it's a beautiful luster. You have a look. You watch this. Now, a lot of people use paper because I suppose they think it's safer. But I find I get a much better finish using cotton. Now, providing you're careful, I suppose it's okay to use. But it's what I use. You don't have to. Now we start off slow. Oh, look at that wood change. And get it to soak in lovely. Look at that. Probably got a little bit too much on the cloth there, but I will wipe the excess off. See some of the black coming off too. Okay, so now we've got it on there. See how it's changed? Now there. About 2.5 to 3,000 RPM. And then don't have it in one spot, move it back and forth, change the cloth. What you're after is to get some heat into the surface and sort of melt it. It's a friction polish, a friction wax polish. Okay. Look at that. Oh, that shines all right. So this is a striped Blackwood, and when the pen goes together, of course, this will match up with this. It's slipped round a little bit, doesn't really matter. Not at this stage anyway. So I'm going to put the cap on that. So that's the Ultra Sheen Friction Wax. Now then, now for the real good stuff. Give it a shake. If I can get it open. There we go. I like this stuff. Here we go. On slow first. Get it on there. Like that. Spread it around. Like so. There then. Get a clean bit of rag. And speed her up. Nice and fast. And get some heat into it. Oh, beautiful smell on this. I think there's a little bit of beeswax. I think that's one of the things that's in it. Certainly smells quite sweet, actually. Look at that. It's actually like glass. I can see the reflection of my fingers in the pen. I don't know whether the camera's picking it up. Look at that. Beautiful. Ooh, look at that sheen. Ooh, pretty. Okay, so that's the Blackwood. So now we're going to do the Huon pine. So I'll get set up for that. Okay, these pens are made up of quite a few different parts actually, and they're all press fit together. So we'll start off with the Huon pine, and first of all we're going to put the the nose in. So I use a Carpentry vise like this. As you can see, I've used it quite a few times. And you've got to be careful to line this up, otherwise you can split the pen. Perfect. That's that one. Now this one. Squeeze it in gently. That's that. This is the mechanism that twists and retracts the insert. And the insert goes in like that and then screws in like that. So you get the action of the pen. You see that? As you turn. Okay. And you get the little ring that goes on there, like so. And then each one of my pens has Australia written in the clip, like that, embossed it in black, I suppose. And the cap goes on here like this. And this again is a press fit. Watch I don't trap my hand as well. And that gets press fitted on. And the different imperfections in the Huon pines, I mean it's beautiful wood, but obviously it's 2,000 years old, so it's not going to be a perfect wood. So that gets pressed in there. And there you have one Huon pine pen. Beautiful. Now the Blackwood. Put this one in here first, I think. We'll squeeze that in till it gets to that reference ring there. And then we'll put the nib in. Like so. That goes in that hole. Pressed in. Ink fill. Make sure the mechanism works perfect. Look at that. Oh, that's beautiful. Ring. What I like to do with these Blackwood strike pens is put the clip opposite side to the black, like so. 180 degrees out from the black, so you can see all of it. Okay, and then press, line the black up like that. Up. There we go. Beautiful. But you can sort of put it wherever you want, really. Look at that. And there we have two beautiful pens. So there you have two beautiful pens, handmade by me. If you wish to order a pen, there will be information at the end of this video in the credits, and also below this video in the above the comments underneath the description of the video. And I hope you've liked the video today, so please like and subscribe. And if you would like to assist this channel to continue to make content, please consider becoming a patron to this channel. The web address for my patron pages is also below this video and below above the comment section. So thank you for watching, and it's bye for now.